Hi, welcome back everybody. This is lesson 10, your final lesson of this series of work. Well done, really intense work over the last 2 weeks, but from what I've seen, some of you have done some really good work. The ideal really at the end of this is for you to know what the Crusades were, when they happened, why they happened, they're linked to religion and other things, and they're linked to medieval life. So we're going to round it off today by thinking about what happened next, what were the outcomes of the Crusades. So in today's lessons, you're going to do these things for me. You're going to draw a mind map in any way that you want to. You're going to read all of the information on the slides or any other research that you've done. Then you're going to complete the information onto your mind map, do a few things and then answer some questions. So have a look at these pictures for me. Here's a clue to some of the consequences of the Crusades. So I wonder if you can work them out. At the end, you can come back to this slide and see if you got it right. So we are looking at this word here. Can you work out what the word is? Okay. Yep. It is consequence. So consequences is simply the effect, result or outcome of something occurring earlier. So what were the effects of those Crusades? Okay, so when we say do a mind map, now you know you can do your mind map in any way that you want to. Here's a very basic one, but how it makes sense to you. Mind maps are really important, they fit with you, but remembering that would be one colour, that would be one colour, and so on. Remember, we don't put big volumes of information down because that's not going to help your brain find where all this is stored. You want simple words, phrases and pictures. The first picture that comes to your mind is not an art exam, okay? So there's yours. You're going to create whatever you want to think about. Then you're going to look through and you're going to read all of the information that are on the following slides, okay? Loads there for you, really easy. You're just taking out that information or retrieving that information and anything else you know. Then once you've got your mind map, you've got 2 jobs to do. The first thing is you're going to highlight your short-term and your long-term consequence. Remember, for those higher levels, we need to be splitting things into long-term and short-term effects, long-term and short-term consequences, long and short-term problems, okay? By breaking them down, you're going to show a slightly higher level. So you can just do a little S or a little L or whatever system fits you. Then you're also going to go through and I want you to highlight, underline, different kind of underlining, however you want to, boxes to say what's positive and what's negative, okay? As much as any kind of conflict is going to be negative, there are often positives that we can pull out. What we're all going through now, there are positives to what's happening, even though there are lots of negatives. So always try and think of both sides of the argument. Once you've done all of that, you're going to then have a look at these questions for me. Just go on the other side. Okay, so you're going to work out which category do you think is the most important and explain your choice and give some examples. We're not looking at PEE, we just want you to think about that, okay? So we've got a pen, so you need to be writing this down. Which one do you think is the most important consequence? You can only have one, okay? But give examples always. Number 2, of the category you choose, which consequence is the most important? So then you're breaking that down even further. So out of that block, which one do you think is the most important and why? And then are you going to tell me which is the least important and why? So not too much, a little bit of writing, rounding off this whole project, okay? So, nice and simple, told you it was a short one. You're going to do your mind map, retrieve all the information you can, add that in, talk about short term, long term, you're going to talk about positives, negatives, and then you're going to prioritize that information, which is the most important, which of that is the most important, which is the least important. And that's it, you're done. Well, I hope that you've got a good understanding of the Crusades. I hope that you're sending lots of good work into your excellence teachers. We're working on ways of how we can mark it and give feedback. You need to bear with us a little bit on that. And yeah, it's over to you now. I really look forward to seeing some of your great work. Bye for now.